Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Player 4 podcast. Good evening. I am Tristan, aka Chakra Zero on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
I am Joseph, aka Jay Dunlap, and we have a guest.
Hey, I'm Bree, aka WomanFriday.
What is your full name?
Bree Brouwer. Well, that's as full as I put it online.
Sure, but now you've got us intrigued. What were you going to say, Tristan?
No, nothing. It's okay.
Okay, so why did I have you intrigued there?
Well, you made it sound like you've got more to your name that you're not going to share, but you brought it up.
Oh, that's because when people are like, what's your full name? I'm like, well, in what capacity do you need to know this? Because, if a doctor, I give a different name at the doctor's office because my full name is Brienne. But I just go by Bree online because it's way easier.
I could see that, especially if it was in a username at some point.
Right. So, yeah, that's why when people are like, so what's your full name? I'm like, how do I answer this?
It could also be a Lord of the Rings reference.
I have had people say, is that what you were named after? Or I've had people say, were you named after the horse from Narnia? Or I've had people say, were you named after the cheese?
Brie cheese.
Brie is my favorite kind of cheese.
Right?
You gave yourself the name WomanFriday on the site. Why is that?
That is because that WomanFriday's my Xbox gamer tag, and I've had that's actually the first time I started using that username. And the reason I chose it was because I heard the term Girl Friday years and years and years ago. And I looked that up, and apparently that's a term that was used in the 40s and 50s for the office secretary, the woman who could run errands for anyone in the office and basically had the power to do anything for anyone. But it kind of got negative connotations, and by negative connotations I mean sexual connotations over the years. And I was like, well, I like the idea of an all-powerful woman, but I don't like the idea of that people joking about, the office secretary kind of a thing. So right. I changed the word girl to woman, hopefully to imply a slightly more sense of maturity in the topic, and then I just stuck with it. So I went with WomanFriday.
So it's the secretary who's all grown up.
Who doesn't do stuff like that anymore, but still has the power to do whatever she wants.
Bam. I love it.
And what was the nickname that Caleb gave to your husband?
My husband's nickname from his childhood is Buddy Boombox, but Caleb did not think that was good enough because everyone. This was the first time my husband had come to RTX, and everyone knew who I was, and Caleb knew who I was. But so my username on the site, people know me, but my husband never gets on the site, so they don't know him. So Caleb was just like, no, you're Man Friday.
I thought it was Man Tuesday. I thought that's what we decided on.
I think he ended up with Man Tuesday.
Well,
I thought somebody called him Saturday Man.
There's been different iterations of it. So actually I think it was Tuesday Man because, I think you're right. I think it was Tuesday Man because some of my friends were calling him that because they met him for the first time on a Tuesday. So.
Okay.
All right, I like it. No, that's fine. It makes sense.
I'm just confused. Is that a thing? You name someone after the day on which you met them? And who remembers that kind of thing?
I wonder what day it was when I met Bree. She wouldn't be able to.
It must have been a Friday.
I hope it was a Friday. Otherwise, this could get weird.
It was a Wednesday for Bree.
Like, Woman Wednesday, how you doing? She'd be like, it's Woman Friday. I'm like, not to me.
Yeah.
Since I meet everyone at RTX, I remember the day, but there's a reason for that. So Bree was Wednesday. I picked her up from a party she was at.
That's right.
Alex, and that was right when the air conditioner went out for the entire weekend on my car.
Joseph, married and still picking up the ladies.
Okay, no, Tristan, bad.
Another married woman.
With his car.
Married with my car? Okay, Alex...
Picking people up with gosh darn.
It was the following year. because we didn't actually get around to meeting the year before. We were just texting the whole time trying to find each other. But the next year we were sharing the condo with Bree, and so I met you on the Wednesday as well because it was bonding night and we played Cards Against Humanity. And then just 2 days later was when I met Tristan, and it was at Fido's. Is that right?
I think we first hung out at Fido's. I think the first time I got to see you, I was with Tony, and I was with Rebel Fleet, Elizabeth, and I think that's when you and I finally linked up. I don't know if I was at Fido's. I do know that it coincided with us walking 6th Street and getting ice cream.
You have a better memory than I do at this point, but ice cream does sound good.
Yeah,
we went to Amy's.
Amy's ice cream. Amy's ice cream. Yep.
Oh, Amy's is so good.
How often do you go to Amy's, Tristan?
Not as often as I'd like. I try to get there once a week. You know, it gives me an excuse to walk 6 miles, so...
If there's an excuse, it would be ice cream. Maybe steak.
That's legit.
Too legit to quit.
So, Bree, what exactly do you do?
Oh, that's a complicated question. I first like to say I'm a wife because I always try to put all my marriage first. So if I need to work on that or hang out or anything, that's always my first job. And it's not really a job because I love it. So I say that first. But my actual work is I'm a daily staff writer for the website tubefilter.com, and I write about online video and streaming media and digital media, basically news stories all day. So some of you, if you follow that site, you've probably seen my stuff because anytime there's Rooster Teeth news, I pretty much get to write about it because my boss knows that that's my beat, that's what I write about. So that's what I do for my day job. But I also do freelance writing on the side, so I'm pretty busy overall.
Busy is a good way to be, though.
Yeah, I think so, especially if it's, bringing in money while also making life better. That's always good.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe you have your own thing going right now, your own, I don't know how to call it. It's not, is it company or is it just like something that you're doing on the side still? I thought. Are
you talking about my blog?
Yes, you're Geek.
We're talking about Live Geek.
Yeah, Live Geek and Prosper.
No, now it's Geek and Prosper.
Oh, is it Geek and Prosper? I thought
now it's just Geek. Oh yeah, because of the whole you didn't want to
rip it off, but
yeah.
I thought it became Live Geek and she dropped the N Prosper. I got it wrong. She dropped the Live part.
Yes. So Geek and Prosper is my blog, and unfortunately it's kind of on the back burner right now because I'd like to get more freelancing clients under my belt so I can kind of move back into freelancing at some point. But Geek and Prosper is something that actually the Rooster Teeth community kind of inspired me to start. Was there seemed to be so many people online and in that community who want to start their own online businesses, start making money somehow that way, whatever it is, like selling costumes or whatever on Etsy or even running their own blogs and teaching people how to do something they know how to do. And so that's what the entire blog is about. Geek and Prosper is, a site to teach entrepreneurial geeks how to start and run their online businesses. So I'm struggling with what to do with the blog, to be honest. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen with it myself.
Okay.
I know of a place you could probably promote your blog as you start to revive it.
Oh, yeah?
A location on Facebook, perhaps group for that kind of thing.
A very special group.
The group that I started recently, that's the RT Community Content Creators group on Facebook. And that's a nice little segue. We can go back, but I just wanted to make that plug. And if you are a content creator in the Rooster Teeth community and you want a place to see what other people are doing and you want a place to promote your own stuff, not just one, but both, then you can join the group and you can see what people are doing. You can promote your own stuff and we can be a community again.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet group.
Well, I mean, you've got the P4 group in there. You've got the Bitblender group in there. You're in there. Dix is in there. So
good old Dix.
Good old Dix. It's a good old group. And do you mind if I, for a moment, depart from your blog talk to plug the thing that I posted in the group today?
No, because I think that is a genius idea.
So I've had this idea in my noggin for a few weeks, and I finally got around to pitching it to the group on Facebook, which is a video that I want to make for Christmas for the Rooster Teeth community. And it is a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Doesn't have to be a Rooster Teeth version of it unless there's like a really good one, but the normal 'Twas the Night Before Christmas could work. And it's read by community content creators, so podcasters and the like, and preferably in video medium, kind of like the trailer I did for the Draw 4 podcast, which was bouncing between people, but in this case, each person would get a section rather than like jump cuts. That's the idea. It's just as many people from the community as I can get that are known content creators. It doesn't have to just be podcasters, though. Bree's welcome to do it. There's artists that are welcome to do it, so long as they're a recognizable person that people would enjoy reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
I don't know if people would like seeing me, but
for better or for worse, worse, you two are recognizable now.
We're like important people or something.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say you were important.
He doesn't want to get my hopes up, but he wants to get my hopes up.
No.
Do I get my own PA now at RTX?
Alex, I'll be your PA, but only if you're not a guardian.
Which small segue, quick segue, that Guardian applications are now open for people to apply for RTX 2016.
Go to the link on the screen. If you are listening and there is no screen to look at, then, do some research. Go to twitter.com/SailorTweak.
Yeah, they're open till December 14th, so you have still plenty of time to do it. I just turned in mine tonight, though, so I'm pretty excited.
Sweet. What about you, Tristan? Are you planning on doing that?
Yes.
Same team, hopefully?
Yeah. I love the tech team. I already submitted my application a couple days ago.
Nice. Alex, what about you? You want to be on the same team?
I did put the same team down, yes, as one of my choices. So we'll see. Bree, are you thinking of applying as well this year?
I am thinking about it, but I am still very much on the fence. I'm really not sure what to do.
I know that you've had the press badge for several years, and...
Yeah, and I can get the press badge again, and I'm trying to figure out how I can best, help out, serve the community at this point, because I'm known as the person who covers RTX for the community for the press, which I feel is, important in its own right. But at the same time, it's also, I feel like I'm not actually doing much to help RTX. I don't know, I may be short, selling myself short there, but I've considered doing Guardian stuff for the last couple years, but I've heard from a lot of people, not you guys, from other people on other teams, just how, strenuous and exhausting it is.
It is that.
It's a hard work to do, but at the same time, it's very rewarding. So by the end of it, you might be exhausted, but I felt a little refreshed as well, just knowing that I did something in some way that was good for RT and the community.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm debating, and I also don't necessarily. I have to talk to Man Tuesday about it as well, because if he's not going to do it and he's still going to come, I don't want to be running around busy all day and not see him at the same time.
I'll be his date.
Yeah.
I'll have arm candy. It'll be nice.
So you're going to do. You're hoping to do Spectre stuff this year again? Not.
I very much enjoyed Spectre stuff. I feel like I could do that again. It's sad to see that Grady's not going to be in charge of SideQuest anymore, but I get his reasons, just that he didn't recharge this time around, that he had that cycle of burnout recharge and it just didn't happen this time. You got to do what's good for you. I've known that feeling where you're just ready to just be done with things. Ultimately, his decision was for the good of SideQuest and not just for his own good, so it wasn't a selfish decision. But I still am very interested in doing SideQuest stuff, Spectre stuff, because I believe very much in what they're doing, the charity events and that kind of thing, and raising all that just oodles of money through fundraising during the entire weekend. And, I mean, SideQuest is fun, so it's fun to be wearing a Spectre shirt.
I feel like I almost prefer doing Spectre stuff over Guardian, possibly. So I have to take that into consideration, too. Because I'm not very good at, I always have pity and passion for people who need help and like donating to charities and stuff like that. But I've never been good at actually volunteering for them. So I feel like that would probably be a good place to start.
It is a good place to start. It's the only volunteer work I've really done. Okay, I did a little bit in college, but since college, I think this is the only thing I've done that was volunteer. It is a good place to start because a lot of it is simply, where do you need me? Okay, good. It was just finding what job needed to be done and then doing it. And then at some point, someone would come up to me and say, aren't you supposed to be taking pictures? Aren't you on Team Glass? And I'd be like, yeah. And like, you go take pictures. I'll take over for you. And I got a lot of good pictures, too. And that was good, too. Speaking
it's true,
of,
I got to be in some of those pictures.
You did get in. Your picture on the screen right now is a picture that I took at Actually, yeah, all the pictures of us, maybe even Bree's, who knows, are from SideQuest, but the one of you is the one that I took from when you showed up exhausted at the auction, the charity auction. After spending like the whole
I was
day.
running around all day.
Hopefully you won't have that problem this RTX if you end up being a Tech Guardian. They're doing the whole convention center this year now, they said.
Yeah, which means we have even more space.
And they're adding the SGC. That's going to all be in, the Hilton, I think it was. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, and we have dates for it as well. So it's back to the beginning of July. Not that really matters as far as weather goes.
Well, travel's going to be insane again.
Yeah, Nick, my husband Nick, he was like, man, why'd they move it back to the 4th of July? He's like, that's such a pain.
It is a pain. I'm also a little bit upset about that, because flights are so much more expensive on 4th of July weekend.
That is true. So all you RT folks listening to our podcast should leave us a comment and tell us. Hi, Bernie.
What month do you like? Would you like RTX to be in?
Yeah, well, Bernie blocked me on Twitter.
I did not hear about this.
Yeah, he did a mass blocking. Anyone who said that Honey doesn't spoil got blocked.
Okay.
Years ago.
Oh, I was like, I feel like I would have heard about this if it was super recent.
No, it was when they first started doing the live stream podcast.
Oh, yep, no, that makes sense. And
that was right around, I was making the memes for the podcast that were quite popular for a while.
Yeah.
And then that was right around when my daughter was born. And then I was working 4 part-time jobs at the same time. Then I just couldn't keep up with the podcast anymore. So I don't think I've watched a single episode since then in its entirety, just because of how busy I've been.
Oh, life.
Yeah, it's part of the problem, though, when you convert to an entirely visual medium for your podcast, where everything occurs on screen and you either see it or you're like, what's going on? What am I missing? Then what happens is you feel like you have to sit down and pay attention to it like you're watching a Let's Play and that kind of thing, or watching an RT short. You've got to sit down and digest everything that's going on visually.
You know, I was just thinking about that the other day because you know who I've started watching quite a bit of on YouTube recently? I've started watching Funhouse because I'd never seen their stuff before, you know, and I know they're relatively new, but like I knew they were going to be at RTX this past year and I saw like their booths and stuff like that and I was like, you know, I should start watching these guys now that, you know, they're part of this family or whatever. So I started watching it and I really love their stuff because they cut it like they're, you know, GTA 5 gameplays, whereas Achievement Hunter will do it like their full length, like 30-minute to an hour gameplays, which don't get me wrong are fun if you have the time, but if you don't, like the Funhouse guys, they just cut theirs down to like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's like this perfect break between, you know, during work breaks to just slap one of these on, get a really good laugh, and then be done. So I found I've really, really enjoyed their content, and I think that they do a Q&A like thing called Open House where they answer questions from their fans, you know, and someone was saying something about why is their content, you know, shorter or different like this compared to Achievement Hunter, and they said most of their listeners and viewers are older people as opposed to stupid 12-year-old, 13-year-old kids, unlike Rooster Teeth. So they jabbed at Rooster Teeth, but it's also pretty, like, it's kind of true. Like, when you get older, like at Joseph and my stage where we have other commitments in our lives, yeah, we can't sit and necessarily watch a Rooster Teeth podcast, those 2-hour podcasts anymore, you know?
Back in my day, a Let's Play was watching someone play.
Yep.
I see. Tristan and I don't fall into this category.
Not yet.
Well, I'm sure you will. I mean, yeah, it's just, there's so much.
I'm with you on the length. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ahead.
No.
Go ahead, Joseph.
No, I'll play chicken. I'm good at playing chicken.
He's still doing it. He's still doing it.
All I was saying was that I have already fallen behind. Like, the only shows I really keep up on is Red vs. Blue and Ruby and Rage Quit.
You're in school again, though, aren't you?
Yeah, school and work.
Yeah, so there you go.
I want to catch up with the Minecraft Let's Plays, but I am so far behind now. I think the only things I watch are the shorts when they come out, and I can't think of anything else that I really... Oh, the RTAs, and whenever the RTAA and Source comes out, I watch that as well, but that's not actually Rooster Teeth that makes that. I was just going to say, as far as the length of Let's Plays, that we try to keep to that as well. Our longest episode is our most recent, which was 28 minutes, but our shortest one was 13 minutes. Unless you count our preview, which was 22 seconds. And that was, oh yeah, the sleepover. And we try to stick around there. That's actually the length I try to stick around with Draw 4 podcasts, because it's intended more for listening while you travel. And Player 4 is more intended for kind of sit down and look at the funny pictures, but you can also be playing a video game and just look over and see when the picture changes.
It's true. I listen to our podcasts in the background when I'm playing things.
I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll just go and listen to an episode, like maybe the most recent one, so I have something to argue about. And last week was a good one for that.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Tristan, I watched the freaking intro. You're right, okay?
Yes, I'm happy now.
I laughed so hard when I was just going back and watching it because I wanted to see the pictures that Tristan put in with all the catfight pictures. And I laughed so hard at the part where he's like, no, they didn't think he was dead. And I say, no, Alex, you're wrong.
They knew he wasn't dead. None of them were like, oh my god, he's dead. They knew the capabilities of the armor.
Okay, that's wrong, Alex.
Just like, full stop. You're wrong.
And then Tristan's like, no. And then it's a cat fight for like 5 minutes.
So what you're saying is, if people have not seen the previous episode, they really need to.
Yes, there were what, 3 arguments and 3 parts
there
where
was
we
lots of civil unrest.
Yes, there was a lot of civil unrest, and then 3 parts where we just cracked up laughing. And I'm trying to move things forward, and Alex gets a hyena face.
Yes, my laugh is very hyena-like. Thank you for bringing it up.
And Matthew commented on the episode and asked why he didn't get a hyena face, because he was also laughing.
Oh, I was parsing out who was laughing, and I only recognized my voice and Alex's voice.
I couldn't hear his either, so that's our bad.
It's because my laugh takes over everybody else's.
Yeah, it's like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, Bree, by the way, we're going to be recording another episode of P4Craft soon, and just like we're doing with the podcast where we try to have guests pretty often, we might try and have guests in P4Craft, and since you play on Tristan's server, you could watch it. I mean, you could be in it.
You can watch it.
You can watch it. Wait, no. Better than that.
You can watch your character can watch us in Minecraft while we record.
Oh, you'd be Notch.
And don't do anything while we be funny.
You would be Notch, and let's play Minecraft episode 1. No, part 1.
Blow up Achievement City.
Because remember when they had the game show and it was trivia about their Let's Plays, about specifically I think the Minecraft Let's Plays, and Jeff kept having the wrong answers and stuff, or what was it? Was Caleb reading them and Caleb kept giving away the answer instead of letting people steal?
I don't have a good memory of that, so I can't answer. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about the new one presented?
No, not presented with comments. This was a thing that they did a long time ago, and it was just random trivia about Minecraft. And Jeff kept getting mad because Caleb kept giving away the answer on incorrect answers when he was supposed to let the next person steal like they do with presented with comment.
Okay. Oh, Caleb, we love you.
I love Caleb. He's my bae. No more Bay. Anyway, they actually were wrong about something because they were asking who that is not a Rooster Teeth employee. It was who that is not an Achievement Hunter has been in Let's Play Minecraft but did not die. And they were like, well, it's Joel. And I was like, well, also Notch. And none of them seemed to remember that Notch was in episode 1. No, he was in episode 2. He was in the one where they made the village, and they were showing off the logo, and then they booby-trapped Jack's house with lava, and the view of the logo was being filmed by Notch.
Oh,
yes,
that's
true.
pretty nice.
When it swaps in Plan G, when it swaps to the overhead view of it blowing up, that you'll see that it says the viewpoint is Notch.
That's right, Plan G.
I remember they said they actually got him to. I think they said they got him to actually view and appreciate it.
That horribly proportioned logo that's now a T-shirt, and Jack hates it, and is also on Tristan's server in my castle.
Yes.
Homage.
You did, didn't you?
Yes, next to the creeper statue, and the monster factory, and the monster apartments. The creeper statue is in the middle of the roller coaster called The Creeper.
Yep.
Yes.
It's pretty epic.
I did make something on Tristan's server, though, that is going to be in an episode of P4 Craft. Now, plenty on his server will be in episodes of P4 Craft, but this is something I built just for one of our videos.
Yes.
And Tristan has seen part of it. I haven't allowed him to see the whole thing. He was helping me with redstone in part of it, but it is something that requires 3 people. So I know Tristan and Alex are going to do it, and we've got to find a third for this particular adventure. It's sort of a contest of sorts. It's almost like what Jeff and Gavin make, or used to make. I worked for a while on it a few months ago, and I'd really like to get that recorded, maybe episode 6 or 7, because next one is episode 5. And I've also been on Tristan's server working on the super secret project. Ooh.
Every project you have is super secret.
There's 2 super secret projects?
This is the one that pretty much everyone has seen, though, the monastery.
Oh,
so it's super secret in big air quotes.
But now they don't. Now they know it's a monastery.
It's the one I was talking about in episode 1 of P4 Craft, where you're like, Joe, everything you do is a super secret project.
Yeah.
And then we took Haley by the monastery and lost the footage.
Fun.
No, what happened? I think what happened was Fraps just stopped recording because my computer ran out of room. Is that what happened?
I know that we found out. I know that one of those days we found out that my Fraps only records for 30 seconds because I don't have a full version.
Yes, that was episode 3, where we were going to have 2 viewpoints instead of 1. We're going to swap between you and me, and we discovered that the free version of Fraps only does a few seconds. So finally,
so dumb. We recorded for an hour, and then I went to go turn it off, and I realized it had already stopped recording. I went, oh no, when did it stop? Found out it only recorded 30 seconds.
Yeah, and like 45 minutes of your footage was you killing Alex or messing with him or making him throw ender pearls.
Yes.
And we just lost it all, so I cut most of it, but anything in the audio that was entertaining I kept in there. So that episode was only 25 minutes long, when I think we recorded for a full hour. And the most recent one, we got wise and started using OBS, and so it's split screen.
So the lesson here, boys and girls, is to always check the software specs that you decide to use for your recording.
No, don't tell them that.
We want them to make our mistakes again.
Yeah, she's right, though. That's right, kids. Read the fine print.
I've had issues like that before, though, personally. Not with recording gameplay, but like recording phone calls for like interviews for stories. I have to be very careful. It took me forever to try to find a recording software that was like, this is a free software, although not really, because you can only record up to 15 minutes in it, and then we'll make you pay. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
well,
OBS.
what if my interview goes longer than 15 minutes? So, yeah, you have to be really careful about that stuff, because I've lost the last several minutes of interviews before.
I have 3 letters for you, Bree. OBS.
Cool.
It is what people use for Twitch streaming, and you can just record to your desktop.
It's true.
Nice. I will have to look into that.
That's what I use to record our episodes, just like BitBlender does, only I record the video, convert to MP3, and then put it into Audacity, edit, and then Sometimes I send it over to Tristan and let him do funny things with pictures, but usually I just do it myself in the video editor that came with Windows Movie Maker, because it works.
I do funny things with pictures. Like, I make the Trizlex podcast, or I have dancing fighter ninjas, or dancing poros.
Yeah, Poro Dance Party.
That actually ended up overloading me at one point. It just started dropping frames once I added too many poros.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much time do we have left? I know you guys were waiting.
Hold on, guys.
Fallout 4. Dun 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 dun.
So, are we going to end on that?
Hold on, guys. Done.
That's how the podcast should end. It should be, hold on, guys. And then the video ends. People are sitting there waiting. They're waiting. Say they're not watching it. They're just listening. They're like waiting for the next thing. They click up their window. Like, oh, it's over. What? Hey, I'll call you guys later. But I never call.
And then you hear from the grapevine.
That I'm dating a younger, sexier crowd. I'm really happy, but I'm not happy. Yeah, Alex and I know too many of the same references. We could go for a while.
Well, what else do you guys normally talk about? Or are we finishing up?
Well, I mean, I imagine that Joseph had something really cool to say, but in his absence, I wanted to thank Alex for hitting all those questions, because I had them in my mind. I just wasn't fast enough on the draw. And so
there were times where I'm like, okay, we need to kind of start
time to interview.
I'm going to have to... Yeah, for once I took the reins.
Well, I'm happy. Thank you. You did a good job.
I think
that was really... Yeah, it was a good job. From a professional interviewer, that was perfect.
Well, thank you. I mean, I kind of did that. I first started doing that with Big Bite Magazine, except I forgot the big question of why they wanted to do Big Bite. Why was their name Big Bite? But I tried to do a little better this time.
So I come back and we're praising Alex. What did he do?
He saved the world. It was amazing. There was a giant whale.
For once, Alex was right.
Oh, and another time Alex was right.
Yep.
That's not a thing.
Oh, the time. That one time Alex was right about something.
One time, and it will never happen.
So are we going to once again save Fallout 4 talk for next podcast?
We probably should, because then we can devote a whole episode to it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of took up your talk time.
But
well, we had you as a guest. You're kind of supposed to take our talk time.
It'll be great if we put off Fallout 4 for next week, though, because that's our live stream.
Live stream.
Next week is our live stream episode, so we can talk Fallout 4 with people who are listening.
Is the live stream episode the same as the call-in episode, or am I totally off?
Yes.
The live stream, yes, is the same as the call-in episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys will have done a little bit more Fallout or heard more about it to discuss.
I have a student who gives me constant updates about how he's doing in Fallout.
So by you guys, you mean hopefully I'll be farther in Fallout and they could ask me questions.
No, well, hopefully I'll be a little bit farther too, and then I could be one of the call-in people and be like, okay, so what do you think about this?
Tell your husband to call in, too.
Cool, yep.
And for those who want to call in on that episode, add Player 4 Podcast on Skype.
Yes, add us and call us. Call in next week during the live stream and talk to us.
Call us, we miss you so much.
We're really lonely.
It's really lonely out here. Bree, we definitely want to have you on again to talk about all your freelancing stuff as you get that in motion.
Yeah, and I know that Joseph and I have talked about this before, but there's another thing I'd like to do when I get back into more freelancing and have a little bit more free time is I feel like we both feel like there's a lot of people who actually do already work for themselves in the Rooster Teeth community, and I would like to figure out a way with like Joseph's help and whoever else wants to help to connect all self-employed freelance people in the community, because I feel like if we could all connect and network, we could recommend each other for jobs and kind of keep the money in the Rooster Teeth community if at all needed. So yeah, so I'll eventually hopefully work on that. That's kind of one of my big goals for 2016. Like I was saying, like I'm not sure, like I feel like being a news writer is helpful for the community, but I think this is something I could actually help the community with, is connecting people who are freelancers. So
keep us apprised of that. Let us know as that develops so that we can also let our listeners know, and we'll definitely use the Facebook group for content creators as a sounding board for you on that project.
Yeah. Yep.
I was sad when I stopped getting interview emails from Bree's website.
Aw, me too.
People should join the Facebook group for the community creators.
Yes, RT Community Content Creators. And if you go to my Twitter, Joseph_Dunlap, you'll see me linking it several times. My most recent tweet, which will not be when this comes out, links it, and maybe I'll pin that tweet so that when you go there, you'll see it. Yay!
Yay!
And the whole point of the group is for us to share what we're working on and to experience what other people are working on, so that nobody is that guy who shows up at a creative writing class with emo poetry and never comes back. The goal of this group is that we are a community, and we should, as Bree said, prefer each other. As she said, we should keep the money in the community. I say we should spread the views through the community as well. We should watch each other's stuff. We should look at each other's content. We should digest what each other's working on and encourage each other. And that's what the purpose is of this group.
And then
Show me
possibly
yours, I'll
bring
show
out
you
some
mine.
collaborations with people.
Yeah, collaborate.
Yes, and there is a collaboration in the works. So if you are interested in reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, then you should join the group and let us know. I think it's time that we wrap up.
I'm down with that.
Yeah? Bree, would you like to say goodbye to the audience?
Bye, audience. No, but it was fun. Thank you very much for having me on. And like we were saying, everyone should support each other's stuff on the Rooster Teeth community.
Wise words from a wise WomanFriday.
I see what he did there. I see what you did there.
I didn't see it.
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it come out of my mouth, and I was like, I see what I'm doing there.
Gross.
Good night, audience.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See, Bree, what he does is he says goodbye as caboose all the time.
It's his thing.
That's my thing. I can't do Ain't a Fluffy thing anymore.
No, you can't. But that remix is going to happen.